Greetings, hello ladies and gentlemen, and today we're going to be taking a look at the CollectA 2018 Sciurumimus. A big thank you to my friend Gibson, aka Bioniclesaurus, for getting me this figure for review. Sciurumimus is a very interesting little animal. Its name means squirrel mimic, and it was named that because of its big floofy tail that resembled that of a tree squirrel, which is pretty cool. And this tiny model here is very charming, I must say, so let's just jump in and have a quick look at this one. First of all, the detailing here, pretty nice. I think the dry brushing of that reddish brown color really helps make the fur detail pop, the detail that is there. So I think the paint application really helps complement the detail for this being such a small figure. One of my favorite parts of this figure are the little dainty arms and hands with those tiny little claws. I think those are captured very nicely, and they don't feel too fragile either. They have a nice little bounce to them when you squeeze them in, so they're not going to snap off too easily. The tail is nice and fluffy, of course. That's where Sciurumimus gets its name, and I love how the end is tipped with that little gradient of a black color there, just airbrushed on the end, to give it something different to break up that reddish brown color across the body. The legs actually look really decent for CollectA legs. The feet look a little weird and kind of squared off, but I've definitely seen far worse from CollectA. The base on this figure is super nice. I love this style of base that came out between 2018 and 2019, I believe, where instead of just being a lumpy chunk of plastic, they actually put some effort in with the detailing, and I love how it looks like it's just this big chunk of rock that has been carved out of the ground. And it's actually mostly hollow. If we look on the underside, they carved out some plastic to save on plastic, which is a very good thing, of course. But just from most angles, it looks really nice, and it helps this little figure stand. Man, I hope CollectA brings back their bases, because the Sciurumimus just looks so much more natural than their more recent theropods. I will say that the legs on this little guy are a little bit on the flimsy side, so if you rock him up and down, you can kind of see there's a lot of give there. So I could see leaning being an issue over time with warping on this figure's legs, which is unfortunate. But now let's move into the head, and I love that big glossy black eye there fits this color scheme and just this animal perfectly, in my opinion. The teeth in the interior of the mouth are sculpted out and painted pretty nicely for the scale of this thing. This thing's absolutely tiny. You have the nostril that's present on the tip of the snout there as well, and there is a little bit of shrink wrapping on the face, but I have seen much worse from CollectA, so it's not too noticeable. And then the only other thing that I thought was just cool I wanted to note is how the majority of the color scheme here is just this reddish brown color. I think that's a cool kind of tribute to red squirrels, which I've always been quite a fan of. We have quite a few red squirrels around here, and I think they're pretty cute. But anyway, I think that concludes my thoughts on this little CollectA Sciurumimus. I think this is a really nice little figure, very unique species as well. It's the only figure of Sciurumimus that's out on the market, and CollectA actually introduced me to this genus when they introduced this figure back in 2018, which is pretty cool. They do introduce me to a lot of new dinosaurs and prehistoric animals though. But anyway, in case you're wondering how large this one is, from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, we are looking at about 5.5 inches long, which is right about 14 centimeters. And in terms of the height at the highest point, which is the top of the head, we are looking at right about 1.5 inches, which is about 4.5 centimeters. And for comparison, here is our recently reviewed CollectA Metriacanthosaurus. Big thank you out to my good friend Gibson for getting me both of these figures for review on the channel. We have one more from him that he sent over that we need to review, and oh boy, is that one going to be special. Anyway guys, that's going to do it for this review of the CollectA 2018 Sciurumimus. I definitely recommend this one. A nice, small, reasonably priced figure to add to your collection of a small and interesting little theropod. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed, and if you did, leave a like down below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you all in my next video. So take care, and bye-bye.